Hey there, Scorpio. How are you all today? I hope you're doing well. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you who are new, I'm Nicole. We're going to keep this spirit short and sweet. We'll see how that goes. Scorpio, I felt compelled. There's a few little reads I want to get out today. Yours is one of them. I hope you checked out that weekly. I do feel like there's some residual messages from yesterday. I don't know why. Like, I went back and I usually don't listen to the videos after I post them, but I did feel a little inclined. So as I was doing some things and painting and things last night, I decided to turn it on and just let it kind of play in the background, taking it in a little bit. And I had some questions after watching that. So let's see what comes up in the cards. See if there's anything else. You know, I kind of feel Spirit's like, what do we want to shake out here? Right. So thank you to everybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, commented, booked personal reads. I think I'm pretty much caught up on emails for the most part. I think I got a couple lingering there I got to take care of. Personal reads are open and available. Information, email is down in the description box below. Check it out. Get a hold of me, and we'll go from there. So Scorpio, I was going to continue on with the February reads, but Spirit's like, nah, there's some little things. Let's take care of the little things. Let's clean up here a little bit. So that's what we are going to do. So with that, let's get down to it and see what comes up here in the ethers for you. I hope you guys, as always, are doing well. All the beautiful comments, all the things you all have had to say. I was looking at the comments last night, and just bless you all. Bless you all. All right, Spirit. For Scorpio, any residual messages, the small cleanup work that you have advised me? Birds are mouthy all of a sudden. They were pretty quiet until now. They hear me talk, and it's like they got to out-talk everybody else in the house, the TV included. Scorpio, divine timing and talent. Prosperity abound, Scorpio. Look, your personality is like, Spirit's calling it breaking through. So this to me feels like, I don't know what the hell, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what the word candescent means. I don't even know if it's a word, to be honest with you. Small town girl, I don't know what that means. But timing is candescent, so I don't know. I'm going to have to go look up that word. Spirit's throwing me some things here lately that I don't even know what the hell it is. Wrong time, right time, and wait. So, things are aligning, Scorpio. I'm going to say your talents, like, it's more of a personal thing, I think, than it is maybe an out there in the public kind of thing. It feels like, to me, this is like a draw in of who you are. And I know I kind of talked about that a little bit yesterday, it was about you, right? And this is kind of how I feel about it, that there is, what do I want to call this? Like, you're changing who you are, all right? You're changing who you are. Hang on a second here. Now I know what got the birds worked up. The dog snuck in the room. So there we go. There's the answer to that. Now maybe they'll settle down. All right. So this is like, your personality is starting to kind of shine through. This isn't, it could be work. It could be relationships, 333 on the clock. It could be lots of things, right? But I do feel like it's more about who you are, Scorpio. I think I said it yesterday, as like coming online, right? Like, you're starting to evolve and show more of yourself. So again, coming out of hermit mode, Spirit, you're going to go back and forth in this energy. So, I'm not being condescending or poking fun at anybody, but, you think about things like bipolar and OCD and all those kind of like in and out sort of energies that we can lean into. ADHD, right? And again, I'm not poking fun at anybody, but we know, right, in conditions, we can lean one way real hard and then lean one way the other way, another one real fast too. That's kind of how this feels to me, right? I'm just going to put it into human perspective, so it's like on terms that we understand in regards to those conditions. That's how it's like, I'm going to go, and then I'm going to not. Then I'm going to go, and then I'm going to not. But the not part for you is deep introspection. Okay, so I hope that's making sense. And again, I did not say that in any condescending or demeaning manner to anybody who has those conditions. So, just laying it out there. So, all right, let's see here. All right, honor, dignity, works, lineage, awards, Scorpio. Working through the deepest parts of your self, right? You could call it toxic, you could call it ugly, you could call it, I don't want to ever look at that side of myself again. But you're doing it. But you're doing it. And it's like you're realizing there's a fine line. It's like a fine line between love and hate, right? There's a fine line between empowering yourself and then putting yourself down too. So there's something around that energy too that's coming in. Let's see, Spirit for Scorpio, what is the residual here? What is the residual? I don't know when my guides got so technical and scientific on me, but they're throwing me words and I don't know what the hell. We're just gonna wait and see. We can dummy it down to small town girl, plain English. That would be cool as hell. It'd be real. Commitment coming out sideways. That card came out yesterday in your reading. Gravity. That card came out yesterday in your reading, Scorpio. They were talking about, they're referring to it as an example of like microorganisms within the body, right? Clearing the body, cleaning all the gunk out. And I think I kind of talked about something similar to that before. There's residual stuff, Scorpio, heart space. Like you're wanting to take off and run into the next thing. But Spirit's like, hold on a second here. I need you to take a look at a couple things, Scorpio. I need you to dig a little deeper. I need you to go a little further. I need you to get past that shadow side. I need you to get past that shallow side of like, you're just leaning into things going, this is what it is. This commitment, Spirit, I won't bow down, right? I won't bow down to something here. Your stubbornness, Scorpio, and I'm a Scorpio myself, and many placements, can be like the death of us in our mental capacities. And then we go, why did shit get messed up? Well, because you didn't want to be flexible, Scorpio. It's like there's this idea around a linear path. And, you know, as I say that to you, I was meditating yesterday. And Spirit talked to me about that it is linear. Like we always say, it's like not linear, right? It's not an even path, right? Spirit brought to me like it is linear, but it's the experience. And that's been something that's come up in your readings lately, is that it's about the experience. Like you're still on your path. You're going to have ups and downs on the path forward, right? It is a straight line to where you're going, but you get to choose how many bumps you have. They could be big bumps, like speed bumps. Oh, big bumps, I don't know. Speed bumps are kind of small, but they could be big bumps or little bumps. It depends on how you want to work it. It depends on what you want to do with it. If you're willing to go the distance for yourself internally. I hope that's making sense for you guys. So what else, Spirit, here for Scorpio? We're going to dive into that commitment. Bonfire, safe haven, flame, home, sing and dance. Scorpio, needing to ground yourself. If you're feeling like, it's like fight and flight, Scorps. If you're feeling sacrifice, listen, you got to give up something in order to get something. And I think the part of it that you've got to give up at this point doesn't necessarily pertain to the external world. There could be some things, right, lingering. But the sacrifice is leaving a comfort zone. The sacrifice is you being willing to go out and dance. And the dog's eating, sorry. You being willing to go out and dance and play, not take life so seriously, delve into things you know nothing about. As I said, they were giving me things I had no idea what we were talking about. For you to like get into a meditative state to get the information that you need, but then go have the experience. Like I can't force experience is enough down your throat right now. And it, beating a dead horse here, but per Spirit, good reason, right? So needing to give up something, it's like Spirit just wants you to go, no, I don't know what could happen here. No, I don't know what comes of this, but I'm going to be a co-creator of the universe to see what my best life looks like. I'm going to go out and have these experiences. I'm going to, hands in the air and just go, okay, like, Jesus take the wheel kind of thing. Like, let me know when we get there. I'm ready. So there's something here, Scorpio, that you're needing to to let go of. I think it's a way of thinking. I think it's a space of comfortability with this, a safe haven and home. Look at that. Run away. Wisdom. A lot of you could have running tendencies. 10:10 on the clock. You could have been the runner when things got serious, when things get deep. You do great on your own. Fantastic on your own. Because you can sit with it in your own time. But when you're dealing with somebody else, not so hot. You feel pressured, you run. You get scared, you run. If it makes you feel something, you run. If you don't feel safe, you don't feel like you're at home within yourself, you run. Some of you are starting to realize that pattern of behavior. That's that toxic side. I got that pain in my head. You're starting to realize that is the toxic side of you. And through this is part of your ascension process, Scorpio. This is a part of you learning more about yourself on a deeper level. Like, you've spent a lot of time in your life dealing with, analyzing other people, situations, environments. And not that you haven't done the work. Again, you're at this point because you've done work on yourself. If you hadn't done work on yourself and eliminated shitty things from your space, you would not be able to now look at yourself. You wouldn't be able to sit with that. So you have done the work. Now it is time to go within on a deeper level, and recognize why you run, why your patterns are happening the way that they do. Scorpio. Because you're afraid to love. Because you're afraid you're going to get hurt. What if this next situation, this next job disappoints me? What if that next person disappoints me? What if that family member does it again? That runs deep, but a lot to think about. Chew. Deep thinking, remember, solve puzzle code words. Scorpio, stop trying to decipher everything. Leave your mind at the curb right now. Yes, you're going to need it in February because you're going to have decisions you need to make. But look at this. Reconcile. I'm going to tell you, if this, we're just going to put this out there. Because that commitment card came out, so this could very well be a relationship, right? Scorpio, even if you, again, and I know I said this yesterday, if you are dealing with somebody who is, we'll just call it for what it is, fucking crazy, psycho, obsessive, controlling, possessive, abusive, it's just a no, right? Like, there is no curing that. Some people are just crazy. Call it for what it is. For others of you, and as I said yesterday, if this is somebody who is genuine, somebody who is trying to be there for you appropriately, this may not last forever, whatever this forever looks like to you. But, again, the sincerity, like they're willing to try something, they're willing to try to do something different. Scorpio, you might be eating a little piece of humble pie right now, honestly, with this chew. You're remembering why. You're having memories creep up here with this deep thinking card. Remembering, deep thinking, chewing on, solving things, decoding things. Maybe it's you this time. That can put you on your butt real quick and go, I got a pattern. I need to heal it. I got to work through this. And I've been very complacent in sitting in my bubble, my Scorpio bubble, being non-committal to certain things or on my terms, because if I have control, then I'm going to be safe. You got to step outside of the safety zone here, Scorpio. Okay? Reconcile, street, exhibit, and then key, problem, core of the problem, Scorpio. The key, I talked about that key yesterday for you, Scorpio. I just don't even know what else to say to you besides, Scorpio, pay attention. miracle and independent. You are getting ready, like seriously, to liberate yourself from, I'm going to call it your duality, your angel devil energy, where you let the angel take the lead and let the devil have a goddamn seat because it doesn't serve a purpose anymore. You don't need to protect yourself the way you used to. You have lived, and I've said it, in fight and flight forever. We are no longer fighting to survive. We get to thrive, to live. And this is a very big deal. Like, I feel like this reconcile. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest, right? Always honest with you. I don't think that this is a forever be-all situation. If this is love, this isn't a forever be-all thing. But it's a lesson. It's a stepping stone. It's something or somebody to get you to open up to that part of yourself. Somebody showing you something back to you that you didn't want to see. Scorpio, all of our experiences, right? Like we have to have those experiences to show us things about other people, to show us things about ourselves, all of the things. And this is really what I think this is boiling down to. This is one of these residual energies. And I do think that there's more. So when I talked about that 3-layered thing yesterday, like there's like 3 parts of this, or however I worded it, and this is probably relationships for you, truthfully. Now, I will also say this relationship does not have to be romantic. It can be platonic. It can be your mother. It can be your father. It can be your children. It can be your grandmother, right? It can be anybody. But you learned somewhere that you needed to keep yourself safe. Whatever you're dealing with right now, I just heard, Scorpio, I just want to love you. Scorpio, I just want to love you. Say it again. Scorpio, I just want to love you. This could be a friend. This could be a lover. This could be somebody new. This could be a parent who's finally got their shit together and goes, listen, I know I've done it wrong, but can you just let me try to make up for the things that I've done wrong, because I realize now. Again, discern, right? Use the brain a little bit here, Scorpio, not just the emotion of what you've been clinging on to, of what you wanted, but what is true and authentic, what's showing up in the appropriate fashion, that they're showing remorse and gratitude for you and seeing you as you are and accepting you for who you are too, because that's a large part of this, Scorpio, is a lot of people in this lifetime have not accepted you. Like, they've accepted what you gave them, but they didn't accept what you brought to the table, when it came to yourself. So here's a whole different jump, whole different timeline, whole different paradigm shift. Everything different. And that's scary. That's real scary, right? All right, this commitment card. What's this about, Spirit? Spirit's saying you're moving closer to a Queen of Swords. It's Scorpio. Queen of Cups underneath. In the reverse. Emotionally unavailable. Queen of Swords. I'm going to think my way through it. I'm not going to feel my way through it. You could be moody. I'm going to say your hormones. And, I'm going to go back to, it's like you're trying to keep yourself in check with this Emperor, 5 of Pentacles, but it's leaving you feeling pretty drained. Some of you, could be hormonal, things like that, right? Again, I'm not a doctor, so make wise choices in regards to that. But when you get out of that emotionally secure element and it throws you for a loop, it's like you're trying to find a balance between the heart and the mind. You're trying to find a way to control and lead through this situation. And it's like, I feel you going, all right, I know I got to do this. I got to go talk to Henry, right? Like, I got to make this right. I need to call my mom back, but whatever. And you're going, yes, I can do this. And then something happens and you maybe in that next 10 minutes don't feel your best. And you're like, I don't have time for this shit today. Henry's just going to have to wait until I feel like I got a moment. Like my mom, how many times did she make me wait 3, 4, 5 days sometimes? I'm not calling her back right now. I got other things to do. It's like you switch back into this hardened state, back into your comfortability. If I don't got to talk to her, then I ain't got to worry about some bullshit getting started. If I don't talk to Henry, then I don't have to address my emotions. I'll just lean back into what I used to know because I'm safe there, right? Scorpio, you know, bless your soul, because I do think you're trying. You're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to communicate, but then when you start to, it feels like the rug's getting pulled out from underneath your feet. It feels like everything is kind of knocking you off, so it's easier to retreat. It's easier to go back and do something that you're very, very familiar with. What is this? Bonfire. I almost said haven. Wheel of Fortune, Scorpio. The Hermit. Gonna go back home. Gonna go back to my safe place. Scorpio, you need to understand that this wheel of fortune that's spinning for you is for the better. It's expansion, right? The Three of Cups is expansion. But look at you, turned around looking at the past again. What is it about the past that keeps pulling you back in? And why? It's almost like you like the misery. It's almost like, well, I know how to navigate this. I've been in this for 10 years. I've been in this my whole life. It's the only way I know. You know? It's like somebody being an accountant all their entire lives, and their company lays everybody off, and now they have to learn a new skill to make the money that they were making before. They're being asked to expand, but they're going, this is the only thing I know. What if you learn something new? What if you do something differently? What if you change the pace and the direct trajectory of what you are familiar with? Spirit's saying you are supported in this change. They want this change for you. You've asked for this change, and there you are, you know, Chariot energy, Cancer energy, sideways. Do I? To care for what you wish for. Once you get it, you may be a little intimidated by that, Scorpio. There is a fear. There is a great fear here of love, loss, and regret. You may feel like you don't have a lot to give right now. You could just be feeling kind of worn out. And there could also be a fear here attached to the fact that you're afraid that that's what you're going to get as breadcrumbs. So, you know, it's kind of like, well, what do I do with this? I pick up the deck. I didn't pick them all up. Two of Cups. What if you both just gave? What if both sides of the situation gave to one another? Because it's like something here, Scorps, again, is coming in for you. They're trying to make you move. They're trying to make you see. They're trying to make you understand. And you keep walking down that dark, lonely path of remembering all of the things before that never went right. All the things before that you couldn't see. You know, and then you were in it, and then boom, the wheels fell off. The tower moments happened. Bombs and rockets were flying. Like, and it's like you're trying to... Thank you, Spirit. Scorpio. It's like you're spending this time fighting with yourself, trying to figure out how you got into that to begin with. Your mind is still working on the past of how these things ever came to be. It's like, well, if I dig deeper into that, if I dig deeper into that past, if I understand the why now, before I do the next thing, it's almost like you're trying to take preemptive action and go, well, I need to know this before I can do that. What if you had the experience and you're now much more aware, you know different things than you knew before, and now this time around you get to respond differently. You don't need a preemptive ability to see and do things or know the whys from before, because Scorpio, here's the cool thing about this. Once you invest into whatever this is that you keep pulling yourself back from, the why that you are seeking comes out in the woodwork. It happens naturally. You're going to be able, Spirit's calling it a comparison to what this looks like versus what that looked like. The why is going to naturally come out. You don't need to go on a hunting expedition to figure out why people were the way they were, how you ended up in what you did. You have learned lessons 7 years over about this. You don't have to do that anymore. Spirit just wants you to have an experience. That's it. Just go have an experience, because your growth, your understanding, the whys, the hows, all the things that make Scorpio tick, you're going to realize it in the middle of this. This is where epiphanies are going to come from, because you've involved yourself in a new experience, and you get to go and have that experience, and you get to go home with that. You don't have to marry it. You don't have to lay on a bed of nails for it. You don't have to walk through hot fire and coals. You just have to show up and see what happens. Then it all starts to make sense. That's when the puzzle starts to solve itself. That's when all the things that you didn't understand from the past, after all the healing that you've done, begin to make sense. Sometimes these things don't work because that's not where you were supposed to be. Even if you thought, I'm going to be in this house for the rest of my life. I'm going to be in that relationship with that person until the day one of us dies. I'm going to do this forever. Forever is a really long time. And people change. And some people are just shitheads. Call it for what it is, right? But Spirit wants you to have this experience. Just have the experience. Just chew. 10 of Swords. Like, talk about two dark, dingy cards. Like, look at this, right? I've shown this to you now 3 times over. Look at that. Dark, creepy, can't see, don't know. Hopefully I can make my way home through the fog. There's a 10 of Swords. Ain't no better card to clarify. Again, feeling defeated if you don't have the answers. Not understanding why certain people weren't supportive of you, why people backstab you, why people lied to you, why people betrayed you, why people were aiming for you all the time. All of those questions, whatever it is for you, Spirit's going, you need to release this. Let the garbage stay with the garbage. Let the trash be with the trash. Whatever it is. Let it just be where it was. It's almost like you've gotten addicted, Scorpio, to healing. And the thing about, I'm almost getting emotional when I say this to you. You've got addicted to the healing work. And you've done it all. When it comes to that particular cycle, you have done it all. There's nothing left to do here. Now it's time to live. There is nothing left to do here. You can't fix them. You can't change it. You can't make the circumstances different. You can't change who you were in that moment. And the why, it's almost like you're afraid that you're going to poison the next thing. That mindset of being afraid of doing it is going to be the thing that does do it. I said to you yesterday, February, you will be your own worst enemy. It's like, I see this as like you're doing all this work and then you get to this point and it just stops. Like this abrupt feeling that I get as I talk about this for you is you just stop and you're like, oh wait, my emotions are on the other side of that door. I can't go there. I can't go there. I haven't been there. You know, what was it? Titanic, what'd she say? It's been it wasn't 104 years. How many years later when she goes back and talks about the Titanic, right, sinking? It's been 93 years. I don't remember what the hell she said. But that's you, Scorpio. Like, it's been 90 years since I've touched that space in myself. There's cobwebs. There's gunk. There's buildup. It's like opening the cellar door, that basement card that continues to show itself on the low here for you. What if you went down in that crusty ass basement of yours? Also known as, Scorpio, your heart space right now. And you open the door. And you at least open the door to let it air out. Get rid of the must and the mildew, right? Like, open your heart to just let it air out. You're afraid of what's going to crawl out of there. When you heal your heart, Scorpio, Spirit is saying, on that emotional level, a lot, and again, I am not a doctor. I am not a doctor. Do your own reading, do your own research, go talk to your professional healthcare providers, but I'm going to tell you from an experience here. When you open up that crusty, rusty door and you start to let that heart space air out, you're likely to clean up and heal ailments, symptoms, things that you didn't even know existed. Like all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, I feel amazing. What's the matter with me? You opened up, Scorpio. You're given that gunk, that shit, that buildup, right? In the chakras. That's why we do Reiki. Clean out those chakras. Balance out those chakras. They live within us. You're going to start to feel better. You're going to look better. You're not going to be so tired. People, those of you, again, I can't diagnose, treat, anxiety, depression, heart palpitations, all of the things. Heart, fear-based, greens and pinks, Scorpio. Green is that of the heart in the color coding of the chakras. Pink is love. It is our higher self within our heart space. And Spirit wants you to experience both. The upper echelons of love. But it's like you open that door and you're scared to death what you're going to find in there. Going the whole way back to childhood. That's the thing, Scorpio. Is if you don't start to address this, the only person that's hurting you at this point is you. It's like you're backstabbing yourself and you're like, as I say that, seven of wands. Don't open that door. Keep it. It's almost like you're fighting. Like I see this as, some creepy little critter, gremlin in that basement is trying to open that door to your heart and you're going, no, keep it shut. Put my foot there. Grab some bricks. Grab a boulder. Park the car in front of that door. We cannot open that up. Scorpio, I'm going to tell you right now, you are not going to win this fight. So you might as well surrender now. Go cry. Go have a meltdown. 32:23 on the clock. Go fall apart at the seams. Get mad, kick, scream, let the anger out. But your spirit is damned and determined that you're all going to have your moment and it's just a matter of when. But you're not going to be able to avoid this. Because you're not meant, in spirit, I love it, I got the chills. You are not meant to take this anymore. You have toted that shit around. Like I said, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, right? You have toted this around for so long. It cannot go anymore. It cannot be the thing that you put on wheels and carry around with you. You don't have a choice. I'm going to tell you, here's your tower moment, Scorpio. You don't have a choice. You're either going to do it or Spirit's going to break you wide open one way or another. Take your pick. All right. 7 of Pentacles. The Fool. Spirit is saying, Scorpio, like, stop for just a second. Stop for a second. You're at the 7 of Pentacles. Think about the investment of the time, the energy, listening to tarot readings, listening to podcasts, reading books, meditating, praying, talking to God, eating a healthier meal, getting a bath, taking some time for yourself, meditating. All of that time and all of these years that you have spent putting in that work. And if you stop now, what are you going to get? You're going to stay with your 7 of Pentacles? You're going to stand there and see what happens? It's beautiful the way the Spirit is representing this to me. Is like, you've got your 7 Pentacles. You've invested in this. It's like putting together, like you got to get, if you're doing a presentation, you got to get all the parts, right? You got to do the research. You got to put it all out on the table and go, I got this. Now you have to build the presentation. You could have gone and do all of that work just to throw it on the table and go, well, look, there it is. No, you're going to work to put it together. You're going to work to build upon. You take all those parts and you build with those parts, right? The magician. And he was just showing up here a few minutes ago on the underneath of the deck. You're not going to stop once you go through the hassle of getting all those things. It takes me back in spirit. It's like it's making things make more sense in the way that I worded things to you all in a couple of these last readings. I said, going to the grocery store. Are you going to go to the grocery store, get all your groceries, put them in the car, get them home, unpack the car, bring them in, you got cold stuff, you got 15 pints of ice cream if you want them, Scorpio. Are you going to bring the bags home, sit them on the floor and let them melt because you don't want to do the rest of the work? So you wasted time, energy, money, effort because you don't want to put them away? Same concept here. You've done all of this work. So you just stop there? You don't experiment, you don't put it away, you don't clean it up, you don't look at it, you don't utilize it for... You're at a point now, you get to utilize what you've learned. You get to utilize the parts of yourself that you have worked so damn hard to heal. And if you stop now, it is all for nothing. It is all for nothing. Believe in yourself more than that. Trust in your abilities more than that. Scorpio, go the distance for yourself. Go the distance that you have spent your entire life going for everybody else. And it's like right now you're at this threshold of this basement, fucked up, creepy, weird looking door. And they're like, I just need you to walk through that, Scorpio. Tiptoe if you have to, but I need you to go through the door. The only way through this is to go through this. The only way out is to go through it. Take that leap. The full. Take that leap of faith. Get off of your complacent ass. With all love, Scorpio. You know I love you. You've gained happiness in your own personal sense of self. You gained it in your independence, in your work. But there's more. There's more to come. There are soulmates that you're meant to meet up with that are going to see you for every bit of value that you're worth, and they want to work with, look at this, the Queen of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, the Sun, Eight of Wands. They want to be a part of your world. It was Ariel? Yeah. I wish I could be part of that world, right? Like, you've come out of the sea, Scorpio. You've made it to the stand. You're going to stand out there and look at Prince Eric's castle? Or you can go knock on his door. Go have some lobster, right? Like, do the thing. Get your human land legs. You're not going to put in all this work just to stop now. You have gone the distance for everybody, everything, every person, every job, every friend, every errand, everything under the sun someone has asked you of, or asked of you. Can you love yourself enough to go the distance? Because now it's your turn. And it's like it feels so hard for you to push through to the end, because you've gotten so used to pushing through the end to see somebody else have satisfaction, even if you were exhausted. You would gone to the depths of hell, and you did for a lot of you many times over, to see that somebody else's satisfactions were met. But not for you. Here you are. Here you are. Like, I feel like I'm beating on you guys, but you didn't, again, you have not come this far to give up on yourself. You don't get to give up on yourself. I'm going to say, Spirit is not going to let you give up on yourself. You will have a come to Jesus moment. Like it or not. You will learn, Spirit. You will learn one way or the other. Just eat your peas, Scorpio, before you go to bed early. Like, it's the whole thing, right? All right, this is Ten of Swords, Seven of Pentacles. Whew. It's what it is. Scorpio, you asked for this. The Magician, I told you it was lingering in the underneath, and the Fool, 0 and 1. 10, 0s, 1s could be important. You asked for this. And, darling, you got it. You going to deny yourself of that? And I'm going to tell you, this is not, in Spirit, thank you. This is not just relationships. Scorpio, it's your work. It's your friends. Where I feel like there's been points you've gotten super excited and then you're like, I need a minute. I need time. Scorpio, you have to learn to alchemize. You have to learn to alchemize all parts of life, not just certain parts. And I think you're coming off Queen of Swords here, a little abrasive, a little blunt, maybe a little bit of a bitch to you too. I mean, call it for what it is, right? That it's like you could be a prude, Spirit is saying. People that are new to you, they might not understand where that comes from. Right? They just see you and they're like, boy, is she bitchy. Wow, he's a dick. They're just being a snot. Right? They don't realize why you are the way you are. And it's not their job, Scorpio, to figure that out. It's not up to them to puzzle solve you and, flip you around like a Rubik's Cube. If you're close to this person or these people and you start to talk about your experiences over time, they're going to learn. They're going to understand, oh, well, hell, it ain't no wonder Scorpio is the way they are. I can find some patience for this. I can find some understanding for that. A little bit at a time. It's to pour a little bit at a time on all sides. I do think that whoever this reconciliation is with, Scorpio, I think they're gonna be a lot more patient with you than you realize. Maybe even what they realize. They're just not used to you. You're like a foreign language, a foreign breed of dog. Like, what is this reconcile about, Spirit, for Scorpio? 10 of Wands, you're a tough... Do you see this? 10 of Wands, the Strength card, the 3 of Swords. What's peeking out of the deck? The Moon. You're like, chapter closed. And they're like, I want to see what's inside. The Chariot, the Magician. Again, Scorpio, the 6 of Cups. You, 7 of Wands. Stand out, Scorpio. This isn't a push the door shut. This is open yourself up, right? It's like you look at these 6 wands, they're falling away. They're creating the path ahead. The Chariot, the path ahead. Fast moving energy. Get into it, right? Like Madonna, get into the groove, Scorpio, right? Like, get into it. This person sees you as difficult to crack. This situation is like, boy, Scorpio's real abrupt at work. Holy shit. But then they find out that your last boss was a complete jackass, and they're like, well, shit, we don't do things like that here, Scorpio. You're all right. Like, no, you got a problem? Come knock on my door. Open door policy here. You come sit down with me. Your defenses are like nails to a chalkboard, Scorpio. Cat's claws sticking out. There's something here, Scorpio, in some point, soon, if not now as we speak, that the pain starts to show itself. The hurt starts to show itself. When you let your guard down, just a little bit, somebody sees that. And this is new to them too. I'm going to tell you, whomever, whatever this is, I think they've spent many years themselves wrapped up in their own shit. Maybe they're older and wiser now, I don't know. But it's like they start to pick up the pieces of why you are you. You've gone from the teacher to the student, Scorpio. And that's a real uncomfortable place for you to be, because you don't have control of the classroom anymore. You know you need to move forward. This person wants to move forward with you, or this job situation, whatever it is. Magician is, again, you've asked for this healing. It's here, and they've brought somebody in to help you. This next part, you cannot do that alone. I don't care if it's a friend, a lover, you're dating again, your mother. Maybe you've healed all these mother wounds you haven't talked in 20 years. And all of a sudden you reconnect and you're like, I don't trust her anymore. But I'll talk to her and say hi. At least I talked to her before she died. Like that whole very bitchy kind of Queen of Swords attitude. Spirit is just saying, like, it's okay. This next part of your healing comes with the involvement of other people. I'm gonna cry. I'm on the verge of tears. When was the last time, Scorpio, that you truly let somebody in? I mean, when you really think about it, when was the last time you let somebody into your heart? Not into your life, into your heart. There's a difference. Scorpio, by the end of this week, or in the weeks to come, I don't feel like it's more than maybe 2 to 3 weeks out, if even that. Expect to have your emotional breakdown moment. I can hear somebody, God, it makes me sad. I can hear somebody just finally letting out that exulting scream of, God, it hurts so bad. That loss, that chapter, that whole thing. Jesus Christ, did it hurt so bad. Like, look at me, I'm tearing up, like I can't even help it. Then you can move on to this job or this person. And move into the next phase of healing that takes you into the 8 of Pentacles. To the 9 of Pentacles, Scorpio, to the 10 of Pentacles. Where you're changing your legacy. You have stood so brave and so bold in the face of all of it. And you've had to be a pillar of strength, whether it was for your children, your job, for yourself, to create foundations, to rebuild your life over and over and over again. You've done it so well. And you've got addicted to just doing, to do. And you have felt things along the way. You've had your moments. But you've never had a moment like this before. And now is time. Now is the time. Scorpio, this next chapter, you can't write alone. When I went through my domestic situation, I went to, I think it was like a Hobby Lobby. And there was a plaque there, and I bought it. And it's actually hanging in my bedroom. And it says, I trust the next chapter because I know the author. And in that 3-year period following, I did know the author because I was going to rewrite my story. And as I say that to you, it's like Spirit's even telling me, get rid of it because you can't do it alone. You wrote your story. You talked to Spirit. You talked to your guides. You talked to God. And you said, this is what I need. This is what I want. This is what my heart craves. That's what my inner child needs. And during whatever time period for you, you worked on that. But now you can't author the next chapter alone. You've got to co-create and collaborate. Okay? I feel like I just had a talk with my kid. Oh my goodness. All right. Advice, Scorpio. Advice for Scorpio, please, Spirit. I love Spirit. God, do I love this job. Bottom of the deck, soulmates, right? I told you there's a soulmate. That 6 of Cups coming in. Look, here you are. Not today. Drop those boundaries. It came out sideways. Boundaries and hurt, avoiding conversation, not dealing, still upset. You come into contact with something, love call. Expressions of love, messages of love, thinking of you, informing you. And you go, oh my God, what does this mean? Outdated, old school way of thinking. And where does it take you, Scorpio? You get to heal heartbreak, toxicity, addictions, abusive relationships. All because somebody else, oh my God, Scorpio. All because somebody decided to meet you halfway. Because they genuinely do care. They genuinely want to sit with you. They want to hug you. They want to love you. They want to be there for you. They want to support your endeavors. They want to see you do good. They're not there to tear you down. And and as I look down here again, look at this. Healthy choices and Phoenix, Scorpio. Look at the brightness of that sun. Look at that spirit coming alive again. Again, this person, it might break your heart at the end of the day in the sense that they don't stick around forever. But they are a very significant soulmate, Scorpio. They've come in to show you something you couldn't show yourself. And if you've ever said, and I've got my foot shaking as I say this, I'm not a leg shaker. If you've ever said that somebody gave you a soft place to land, this is your soft place to land. You were just so used to how rigid and cold things were that you thought that was soft. You're going to find out differently now. Guarantee it. Scorpio, thought it would be a short message, but it was a deep message. Probably one of the deepest messages of self I've ever delivered to you. I'm sending you all so much love. Take care of yourselves. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Personal reads are open. Sending you all a ton of love. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.